and welcome back to Versus Live. My name is Corey Ballmeister.
And I'm Ross Merriam.
And we got Rob in the booth. Say what's up, Rob.
What's up, Rob?
All right, Rob will be taking all your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games. He will get his favorites sent over to us. We'll do our best to answer them. Today we are continuing our modern exploration for the week. We wanted to really take a break from maybe more of our more focused standard testing and get back to, well, my favorite format right now by far, and that's modern. It's just so diverse that we look at playing a format for a full week, and it's not even difficult at all to find 12 decks when it comes to modern. You know, we had to cut down a full show's worth of decks from other decks that we were considering just because modern is that vast, and you can just really do whatever you want in the format. So it's really fun for anybody who doesn't play a ton of it. For round number 2 here, I'm going to be playing as Foretold, a deck that is always pretty comfortably around the Tier 2 era. You know, playing as Foretold, Electro Dominance, to cheat in these free spells like Crashing Footfalls, Ancestral Visions, Restore Balance is a spicy one that we got 1 or 2 of, and just really try to abuse that mechanic as much as you can. And, you know, I haven't been a huge believer of the deck, but I've truly not given it an honest chance yet, just because I feel like sometimes when you actually get your payoff of combining these 2 spells, you know, in a combo sense way, Electro Balance plus Visions, it's like your payoff is netting 1 card, you know, so I feel like sometimes it's kind of weak. But.
Yeah, Visions isn't a true payoff, I would say. It's there because it works well with the other cards in the deck and gives you some card advantage sometimes, but really the payoffs are Balance and Crashing Footfalls.
Yeah.
It was the printing of Crashing Footfalls in Modern Horizons that really, you know, gave this deck a shot in the arm and pushed it from like fringe to Tier 2.
Yeah.
So, and what it did really was give the deck a second angle of attack. So now sometimes you could be an aggro deck.
Yep.
You can just turn 1 because you play Simian Spirit Guide, Electro Dominance, make 2 4/4s. A lot of decks just can't deal with that.
Yeah, agreed.
It lets you, you know, race some of the combo decks that you had struggled with, and that angle is really important because against decks that are playing to the battlefield, Balance Gargadon is going to destroy.
Yeah.
Absolutely destroy.
It'll be interesting here with the play because, I mean, you have a lot of removal. You're a Rakdos deck. You have a lot of spot removal, so you have ways to interrupt these combos. But, I mean, if I get a Doom Foretold down and I start dropping these free spells every turn, that's going to be tough for you to deal with. So it's going to be a give and take here for sure.
I definitely don't want to play a super long game against your Ancestral Visions and Balances and stuff. I want to be getting the game over with, but I have enough disruption to do that and Lightning Skelemental. I think that's going to be a really important card.
Yeah, it should be a fun one. So let's get to it. I won round 1 in a rather impressive fashion with that Team of Rec deck. Yeah, Canister, who would have guessed it? Built another really good one. I am always a really big fan of his. Yeah. All right.
Hey, this is a fine hand. I will be keeping it.
I'll keep, but it needs some help. But
I will play a Bloodstained Mire and pass.
Okay.
That just sounds like the perfect Corey opener.
Yeah, I'll keep. Needs help, but I'll suspend a Gargadon.
Okay.
Your turn.
This step, I'll crack Fetch and get a tapped Blood Crypt.
Okay. In response, sack. No. Am I doing this right?
This is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
Love me some Greater Gargadon. One of my favorite cards of all time.
Me too. I absolutely love it. Such a phenomenal card.
Okay, let's get this party started with a Dark Confidant.
Ooh, also one of my favorite cards.
Pass the turn.
Okay, we're gonna crank that down. Now let's start with an Opt. I do not want that Scalding Tarn, so we're gonna bottom that. Draw this card. And do I think this is going to be valuable? Maybe, but probably not. So I'm going to play a Serum Visions. Draw. I'm going to scry. Yeah, I think these are good cards. Interesting. I don't know which order I want these to go in, but I definitely want them. If you can see this on the camera. I suppose it's like this. Okay, scry 2 to the top. Pass to you.
That is very scary. Right. Real Bloodsin Mire.
Okay.
Let's crack that Mire.
Okay.
Get a Mountain.
I'm going to give this one another read real quick.
We've been 18, and I will play Lightning Skelemental.
Oh, boy.
Attack you for 8.
Okay, I'll take 8.
You go to 12 and discard 2 cards, please.
All right.
This could get completely undone by As Foretold Restore Balance. That's basically all I don't want to see.
Yeah. I'm going to discard As Foretold and Spell Pierce.
That's not a good sign. That means there's another As Foretold there. Let's get sacked and it's your go.
Okay, upkeep. Put this down.
Crashing Footfalls, we got some removal to contain it, and we're drawing a bunch of cards. Ancestral Visions, we're drawing a bunch of cards. And I've already put Corey down a couple. Really just don't want to see the Restore Balance.
Oh, no way. You don't sacrifice the enchantment with As Foretold? Oh, all right. That's insane. Okay.
Yeah, it just stays in play.
I do have the balance, so I'm going to sack all these lands. Yeah. And now we discard down to 2 cards. Your go. All right, down to 4. I will Crashing Footfalls. Get some beasts. And I will play a land. Your go.
A little bit late on this Inquisition.
You did get something. To be fair, I did have 2 As Fortolds from the beginning.
Yeah, but I would take the balance or the Footfalls.
Balance was the top card I scried.
Well, if I got the Footfalls, at least I'd have a shot.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So what are life totals? A little behind there.
I'm at 18 and Corey's at 12.
18, and I just went to 11 with this match.
Sorry, yeah. 18 to 11.
Okay, so let's resuspend that.
2.
Thank you. Sorry.
It's a counter every turn, and you can.
So now I can cast a 2-drop for free, right?
Yes.
But only 1 per turn?
1 per turn. So you can do it on my turn as well with things like Spell Pierce.
So if I have Opt, I want to spend the mana first, right?
Yes.
And not use my free one? Okay. No, thank you. Draw. Land. Sack these.
You can't sack an enchantment to this.
You can't?
No. It's a red card.
I remember how these cards work. Okay. Just kidding.
I mean, I'm at 18. You can, yeah.
I'll just attack for 8. Yep.
I'm at 10.
Your go. I know how cards work, chat. Okay. Yeah. Balance was restored. Wow, that was a little obscene.
Yeah, that's what that deck can do.
Yeah, I think there's only like 1 restore balance though, right?
There's generally
2,
4.
3. Okay.
It's usually 4 Footfalls, 4 restore balance, and 3 to 4 vision.
Yep, you're right. Okay, well, that was one heck of a game 1, I guess. We're going to take a short break, see what the sideboard has to offer either of us, and we will be right back.
Hello, welcome back to Versus Live, where we are sideboarding in our matchup between Rakdos Skelemental and Temur Electro Balance. On my side, we've got some more discard spells. You see what happens when I don't have early point discard. Corey's deck can just sort of go off as early as turn 3. Yep. So we're bringing in the Collective Brutalities just as a 2-mana duress, really. And occasionally I'll turn an extra land into a drain for 2 or maybe shrink a 4/4 to get in to make an attack better or something.
Okay.
But not much else besides the just 2-mana duress mode. And then I'm trimming 2 lightning bolts. They don't kill anything other than some Spirit Guide, which rarely gets cast. Lava Spike is not really a card I'm interested in this matchup, so trim 2 of our bolts, bring in 2 brutalities, but the rest of our sideboard doesn't really touch this deck. You might think Boil against a blue deck, but they're playing 4 Spirebluff now, Fiery Islet, Stomping Ground, Basic Mountain, and it's a low land count deck already that doesn't need a ton of lands in play. Yeah. It's actually blowing up all the lands, ideally, with the Restore Balance. So
yeah, I think at best you get like 2 there, and that's if a player doesn't accurately just play around it. Like, I'm not a Cryptic Command deck, so I don't have to worry about my triple blue. I'm gonna get Stomping Ground and stuff early, so
this deck could be built as a Mystic Sanctuary deck, though. Imagine
definitely
sanctuarying back your key Ancestrals and Crashing Footfalls and
Yeah,
stuff.
I just feel like
It's
you
awkward with the
restore balance your
part, yeah.
last a little bit too much, but yeah, I agree. Okay, so on my end, Force of Negation against Hand Disruption, you might think is kind of good, but really it's card disadvantage when you're trying to counter a key thing. I mean, in the last match, we saw Force be insane, but that's because your whole game plan was to play these sorceries and instants that generated
it's a tempo-based game plan, and you had enough card advantage to compensate.
Exactly, and here it's, it just comes down to the amount of cards you have, and you don't want to be pitching stuff here. One Spell Pierce could also be good against, your turn 2 Brutality. Not really what we want. These are our counter spells for Hand Disruption. They're just way more effective. Trimming 2 Spirit Guides, just once again against the Thoughtseize decks. I'm going to be scraping the bottom of the barrel for resources here to pull across the finish line. And then 1 extra Abrade as just a 5th Lightning Bolt to deal with Dark Confidant is my plan on the draw. Abrade not necessarily a super all-star card, but I think Dark Confidant and killing a Skelemental before it connects to me is good enough.
Yeah, 2 very good modes for that card.
Yep. Agreed. Okay, Rob, you got any good questions from our lovely audience?
Yeah, if you're looking to play a mid-range deck, do you think that one of the default choices has now become the 4-color Shadow deck over, say, Jund?
I think Jund is still a fine deck. To be honest, I think both of those are fine decks, and both of them are very different. I wouldn't really consider Death Shadow a mid-range deck. Like, it almost feels like more of a combo deck, but I guess it's still definitely in the mid-range category. But it feels like more of a combo deck to me.
Yeah, it's a lot more aggressive to me, I think, than a deck like Jund is. So they're both somewhat aggressive. They're close, and the distinction is minimal. I agree. I do like the Shadow decks. I think Jund is fine.
Yeah.
I would Shadow before I Junded.
I would too. I would too.
So, that's sort of the answer, I guess.
Yeah, but that's just personal preference. If you want to play, like I've been saying at the beginning of the store and of the show, and as well as just for a long time with Modern, if you like a specific deck, it's probably playable. I mean, this is a Doom Foretold deck or As Foretold deck, and this is probably not exactly the tier 1 deck that's going to dominate, but you could build it in such a way where it could compete with some of the top decks and stuff. So I have a firm belief that either of those decks can be tuned and be competitive in a tournament. It's just what your preference is, and if you like to play the more life on the edge Death Shadow thing, or if that kind of game style gives you anxiety when you're just like, oh my god, I'm at 4 on turn 3 already, then maybe play some Bloodbraid Elves. I think they're both fine decks.
Yeah, both perfectly viable.
Yeah.
We personally prefer Shadow, but your mileage may vary.
Agreed. Yeah, if you want to go 45% against the field, play some Jund. If you want to go, have your 70-30 matchups, also have your 30-70 matchups, play some Death Shadow. Live life on the edge.
Okay.
My brother, Logan Nettles, Reed Duke, they are all about that 45% black-green X club, and, they'll play it no matter what.
That they will.
Yeah, okay. So you're going to be going first.
And I will be mulliganing first.
Okay.
That's 1 lander with Castle Lochthwain in it.
Love it. I'm going to keep mine. This one's pretty decent. I'm a fan.
Got another question here while I'm shuffling, Rob.
Robberoo.
Had a few different questions about whether or not you think the Goblins deck is a serious contender and whether or not people should be looking at that.
In Modern?
Yeah, in Modern.
Okay. Yeah, because now Goblins have just been the new team of Reclamation. They're popping up in every single format. Yeah. Well, I'll get to that question in a second, but have you seen the Goblin deck in Historic?
I have, and I've heard about it. Muxus is...
where is that card even from?
It's from Jumpstart, right?
Is it a Jumpstart card? Okay. I was wondering because I'd never seen that card, and it's just a 1-card combo. It's a Collected Company on a stick.
It's from Mythic Virtual Masters set Unhinged.
Oh yeah.
Edition.
Oh, I just had a spoiler card for that this morning.
Of course.
Yeah. No, I think the Modern Goblin deck is still fine, but I do think it dominated right away because people didn't know what it's doing. People didn't understand the combo, so it's leveling off a little bit. But I still, we didn't see any in the top 8 of that last huge Modern tournament, but it was in there, the top 16, top 32-ish.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just another deck in that Modern morass of viable archetypes. If you like creature combo, I do think it's the best creature combo deck. Like if you were playing Devoted Druid before that, or even like Infect, I would go towards Goblins instead. I think Goblins is a more robust backup plan. Gets to play more disruption than those decks.
Yep.
and as a result, I like it a bit more.
Yeah,
So
I do think it's better than the Devoted Druid decks now that you say that.
it kind of leads that category, but it is by it's not a deck that is going to lead to any sort of bans. I think it's pretty clear how you contain it. There's some good tools to do that. And people are playing them now.
Yep. Well said. Yeah, it's a strong deck. I haven't personally played it in a tournament yet, but we played it on Versus here, and you crushed me with whatever you were playing, but it was fun.
Okay, not a great 6 here. I'm definitely going to keep it. Probably just have to get rid of a land.
Okie dokie, Smokey.
I'll just put that one back, I guess.
Okie dokie. I'm ready.
Play Marsh Flats and pass.
Interesting draw, and I have a very interesting turn 1 here. But I think it's just this. I think this is pretty good against Rakdos. I'm going to take 2 and just suspend Visions.
Yeah, not bad turn 1.
Yeah. God, do I miss doing that, and then following it up with, everybody's favorite turn 2 enchantment, Bitter Blossom in Standard. That was a thing that my first Pro Tour I ever played in 2008. That's what I got to do round 1 of a Pro Tour, and I didn't have to play Limited. Pro Tours were way simpler back then.
Please give me more Limited at Pro Tours.
Says the guy who never plays Limited in real life ever.
Look at my record at Pro Tours in Limited versus Constructed.
Yeah.
I think I'm like 8 points better in Limited.
Oh God, and I would definitely be the exact inverse of that. I seriously think my win percentage at Pro Tours and Limited is sub 50%, and I honestly don't want to go find the actual number because it might be like borderline 40. Like.
Okay, I am going to Croxa you.
Croxa. Okay. I will discard Greater Gargadon.
Pass it.
3. Okay, that was interesting. I am red. As foretold, crash through. Take a pain.
Crash through's a single red.
What's up?
Crashing Footfalls.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You're at 17.
First time I ever got a card name wrong, y'all. Okay, your turn. I'm at 16? Yep.
17.
17. Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty scary. I will play a Skelemental and attack.
I don't want to discard 2 cards, so I'll double block.
Okay, trade with a Rhino.
Yep.
Pass the turn.
Okay. 2.
This goes to 1.
Thank you. Okay. I don't want to use my free spell, so I will opt. Okay. I will keep that. I will pay 1. I'm so sorry, Roth.
You're at 16.
Yeah. I will attack for 4.
I'm at 15.
And I will sack these and restore balance.
But it's symmetrical, so it's fair, right?
It seems pretty unfair right now, I'm not going to lie. My draws with this deck have been unbelievable. I have 1 card. A Yorgo. I'd like to take this up. I'd like to take this down. I'd like to take this down. Draw a card. Yorgo.
You're up.
All right, I will take this down, I will resolve visions. 1, 2, 3. So I can play. How does this work with X spells?
Draw for turn.
Oh, yeah. How does that work with X spells?
X is 0.
No matter what?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess, it doesn't matter too much.
Same way it works with any alternate casting cost.
Okay. Well, I will play my free spell of Finale, and I guess I can't pay X with a mana either.
Correct.
Okay. So
actually,
I don't.
Hold on.
That one's in a different language.
Oh, Jesus. It's a different alphabet, too. It's in Russian.
I know.
I can't read Cyrillic.
Rob, will you read to us? Will you tell us a story? Okay.
Well, so you announce Finale, and you announce I'm casting Finale with X equals 1, and it should say, I think maybe you can. But it says without paying its mana cost.
I would think you can't pay for X, personally. Yeah.
I feel like you
once per turn you pay 0 rather than pay the mana cost for a spell you cast the converted mana cost X or less, where X is the number of time counters on as Foretold.
It would be 0 though.
But don't you just announce Finale for X equals 1 and then say I'm pay the cost, I'll pay 0 instead?
It says rather than pay the cost. So
yeah.
So when it's rather, you don't get to choose X. You're just paying it for its generic.
You only cast for X off as Foretold.
Yeah.
But how I'm just trying to think through the way that you cast a spell in Magic. The first thing you do is announce a spell. You have to lock in costs and then you pay the costs. So don't you just announce it with X equals something and then pay the cost with as Foretold?
No, because you can only announce it for X equals 0 with as Foretold. Because it's equal to its converted mana cost.
You're announcing it before as Foretold is ever getting involved.
Right, but its converted mana cost is 2. Like, you're not actually paying mana to make it that converted mana cost or whatever.
So you have to lock in that you're paying it with as Foretold as you're announcing it?
To be fair, it doesn't matter because I'm going to kill you with this crashing footfalls anyways. But yeah, it would be, maybe chat can educate us on this and we can get back to it. For now, I'll do it the ruling that I would assume. But if anything, it would just be better for me. And then I'll pass to you.
You're going to go to 15 for that?
Yep.
I'm going to go to 14 and crack this Marsh Flats.
Okay.
Get a Blood Crypt.
Yeah, I'm not sure though. That's an interesting ruling. God, it's insane that these are all sorceries. I mean, I guess they have to be with all suspend, but Finale being able to bring back 2 of these free spells is just absurd.
Yeah, when Crashing Footfalls was first previewed, I built for Versus a collected Conjuring deck for the memes.
Nice.
The collected company for sorceries.
Oh, okay.
So instead of Opt, I played some Sleight of Hand.
Yep.
You know, it was the same Ancestral deck, but sometimes on turn 4, I would just collected Conjuring, Crashing Footfalls and Ancestral.
That's insane. For me, I was just suspending it on turn 1 in Modern Horizon drafts until the end of time. I'll sack to this.
Yeah, that does seem insane.
Yeah, that card was just unbeatable in that format. All right, 4, 4, 4. That's a lot of 4s. I'll attack for 4. Wow.
I'm a 10.
Everything's 4. Your go.
Inquisition you.
All right, you get one of my Electro Dominances.
And I'm dead.
All right.
Or he gets to go to third land drop and put the Gargadon in that's on 3, attack me for 13.
Yep.
Give me an Electro Dominance me for 1 if you wanted to.
And if this actually lets you cast for X, I get a free Electro Dominance for 2. Like, that seems absurd.
Generally, those things interact in that way. I just don't understand exactly why.
I'm not sure. What does chat think so far, Rob?
Well, I mean, we have the correct ruling. I mean, this is literally the ruling.
It is,
I accept that is true. I just don't have a good explanation for why under the way the rules work.
Yeah.
Because as far as I'm concerned, you should be able to announce, I'm casting this spell with it. I guess
it's because of the properties I think the card looks at on the spell. It's looking at its converted mana cost. You're not announcing it for whatever.
But on the stack, it has converted mana cost where you count X. Like when you mana drain a Finale, you'll get that extra mana.
Yep.
So it's got to have to do with exactly how As Foretold interacts with the sequence of things that you do for casting a spell. Because you announce a spell and then you lock in costs. So I think it's probably because when you announce a spell, you probably have to announce that you're casting it with As Foretold as an alternate cost before you lock in what X is. And once you announce that you're casting with As Foretold, it locks in X equals 0 automatically.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is.
I'm so bad when it comes to those kind of rulings. All I do in a tournament, honestly, judges probably think I'm a very annoying tournament goer because before a tournament, when I can just think of these weird interactions that my deck are going to do, I usually find one judge, and this is my little helper for the pre-tournament, and I'm just like, okay, how does this work? This, and this, and by the end they're just like, have you played your deck before? And I'm like, I just want to make sure if these come up. I ask a lot of questions in tournaments.
Have you ever had to call a judge for Oracle text on your own Magic card?
Oh yeah.
I had to do it once because I had a 4 in Shriekmaw on my Birthing Pod deck. And I accidentally left it in against Affinity, just lazy sideboarding at like a local event.
You accidentally leave cards in? Is this a Rec Sage part 2?
The anti-Rec Sage, really.
Anti-Rec Sage, yeah.
So of course I mulliganed to 5, and my very first draw step was the Shriek Maw, and I'm just looking at it like I'm pretty sure this thing doesn't hit artifacts, but I want to make sure. I'll judge over. I'm like, can I get the Oracle text on this card? And just immediately concede when they tell me I can't kill their like giant Master of Ethereum. And
how'd that tournament go?
I feel like I like top 16 or something.
Okay, not bad.
But
Can't complain about that.
I think it was an IQ, to be honest.
Okay. All right.
It's been a while. It's been a while since I played Birthing Pod in Modern Core.
It's a while since we've played cards in person. Well, I guess besides versus, but that's all right. I'll join you, buddy. I'll join you. All right. Lovely Twitch chat. You got any great questions for us there?
No, they're all just mad at us for X = 0.
Okay.
Why would you be mad?
Because you keep going on about how this one would work differently for some reason when alternate costs are always X = 0.
I'm not.
That's all. I don't know about mad. They're just repeating it a lot.
Yeah.
Is Twitch chat about to have a mutiny on the show? Are they about to take over?
I'm not saying I'm never saying I doubted that was the case. I've seen these rulings a lot. I'm just trying to figure out exactly why.
Yeah. I'm just accepting the fact that I did not necessarily need that opt to go along with my crashing footfalls with double Gargadon, but
probably didn't even need the finale.
Yeah.
We got people turning on caps lock now. They're really mad.
Oh God! Everyone run! Twitch chat is going for it. All right, this hand's keepable at least. It's not great. It's not great by any means, but I think this card is absolutely heinous in our hand right now. Well, I guess that's not true. If you make me discard things, but if you make me discard, it's probably gonna do that. Okay, yep. I'm gonna keep and bottom this.
It's another mediocre hand that I have to keep.
Okay, yeah, love it.
And I definitely am putting one of these two back. It's probably just this one because I think we need to find very specific cards in this matchup. So
Okie dokie.
Send that one back and start on a Mire. Pass the turn.
Right. I will start on a Steam Vents and pass the turn.
I will go to 19 and get a tapped Blood Crypt.
Okay. Okie dokie. When decks can be named, just wild things instead of like the color combination and then the main card, like wouldn't this be a nice thing to be just called Jumanji with these running rhinos coming around? And
you would need more than the rhinos to make it a Jumanji deck.
I suppose.
Maybe if you had a card whose art looked like Robin Williams.
Okay.
Maybe if you were like rolling dice like in the game.
Yeah. I had a lot of dice.
You weren't rolling them.
Well,
Jumanji, you have to, and if you played the Jumanji board game, like I did as a child.
Okay.
You rolled a lot of dice in that game. You would encounter some, threat, whether it was, killer hornets or a tiger or whatever, that would show up in the game when you landed on certain spaces, and then you'd have like 30 seconds to roll these dice that had different weapons on the sides of them, and you had to roll the right weapon for whatever the threat was.
Okay.
Double of that to survive or defeat it.
So, since you played Jumanji as a kid, are you actually still a kid in your adult body? Is that why you play a card game professionally as an adult now?
Is that what Jumanji does?
Well, isn't he a kid and then he becomes an old man, but he's still a kid? Like, he grows up, right? By the end of that movie? Sorry.
We all grow up, Corey. That's kind of the way it works.
Okay, good.
Is this better or worse than us talking about obscure magic rulings? Would you prefer the Jumanji discussion?
This is a build your
question
own show,
from chat. Igloo Boy wants to know, is Gruul Zoo Jumanji?
Oh, okay.
But that deck's a zoo. That already has a name. You can't give it a second name.
Now we're getting better targeted questions here. I like it. Yes, Igloo Boy. Absolutely.
I'll play a Ransack the Lab.
Okay.
It's just strategic planning.
Okay. All right. I know a specific draw that I want. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, Ransack gets a lot of value here.
I'll pass to you.
Also, during all that, Corey, you'll enjoy this one.
Yeah.
From Arbiter 4, Ross is far from a professional.
Oh, we did it. We did accept burns. That is part of our spiel. You're a professional to me, buddy.
Also, chat wants a taco salad emote. That's kind of random. But
Oh, yes. Taco salad emote. Yes. Yes.
Rakdos fetch to 17.
I'm in. I don't know why. That's always so. My friends will know this as well. Whenever I play catchphrase, whenever it goes off in your hand and you have no clues, that's always my go-to guess. Like taco salad, and it just pops in my head far too often as the random thing to say.
Can you really call it random at that point?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a deep philosophical question. You can think about that one, chat. Get back to it.
It's an obscure show on Versus Live today.
I'm going to play another Ransack Alive.
Okay.
Wow. Just wow.
Is your lab officially ransacked?
I mean, I just keep finding all the worst cards in my deck.
Okay.
We need to find some disruption here, so I'm going to unearth a Seasoned Pyromancer.
Okay.
Now, which cards I want to discard? Corey clearly has removal in his hands. We're going to pitch this Skelemental.
Okay. Yeah, Unearth is so good in this deck.
Pitch a Dark Confidant.
Okay.
2 elementals and draw 2 cards.
Okay.
And you can go.
All right. End step. I think I will. It's not a very good use of a braid, but yeah, just kidding. I don't have an abrade. All right. I will take 2. I have an As Foretold, and I have a Crashing Footfalls. Your go. Rhinos.
Liliana.
Okay.
Edict you.
I will sack. I'll sack this one.
Pass the turn.
All right. I will tick up. Draw. I'll attack Liliana.
If we want to play around the removal spell, there's no way we can attempt that triple block.
Yep.
And if we played around the last turn, we might as well follow it up with the play around at this turn.
I will play a land and pass to you.
Let's crack this fetch.
Okay.
Get another tapped Blood Crypt.
Okie dokie.
Brings me to 16.
And I am just at 18, I believe. I took 2 once.
I don't think you did.
I did for turn 3. Yep.
Oh, turn 3. Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So you're at 16?
Yes. So
and I'm at 18. Yep.
And you have 4 in hand?
4 in hand, yep.
Okay. Attack for 4.
So I could cast the card that we all know about, but I don't think it's worth it right now. I think I'd rather save it for a Dark Confidant or something. I'm going to take this for 14.
14?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to play Brutality in the Duress mode.
All right, I will play this Free Veil of Summer. Draw.
I will play a Croxa.
Yep. I will discard this Abrade.
Pass the turn.
Untap. Tick up to 2. I'm gonna sack that. Draw a card.
It's a good sign.
All right. I will play this Visions.
Worst sign.
Okay. Drew those 3 cards.
This does
No.
make restore balance kind of awkward.
Oh, yeah.
Victoria is a
Restore
much bigger
balance
hand
is
than me.
not great right now. That's for sure. Now, let's go with a Visions. The worst Visions. I guess that card on top is good enough. I already played my land because it was the Fiery Islet. And then I will say go. Defense with the Rhino.
Split this Croxa.
Okay, I will. In response, is it Charm draw modes?
Sure.
Discarding a Scolding Tarn and a Electro Dominance. Oh, and then discard for Croxa. Simian Spirit Guide.
Best turn.
All right. I'll attack.
Which will.
Okay.
And Corey wants me to block there so you can restore balance and get the Croxa.
All right. Crater Gargadon. I will sack this.
Or he just has it all.
Sack these. And restore thy balance. And then I'll pass to you. Oh yeah, balance has been restored. Yeah, you drew so bad in the early turns. I just naturally had to get to 3 mana to As Foretold, and my hand was insanely vulnerable. I had like 2 Veils, but no fetch land to get it. So if you just had any disruption, you get the As Foretold, and my game plan changes so much.
I think all 3 games, if I cast an Inquisition or a Thoughtseize on the first 2 turns,
you win the game probably.
Very easily.
Yeah,
You had 1 As Foretold every game. I think there was a game where you had 2. I think.
Yeah, there's a game. The game 1 was the one where I think threw a hand disruption spell because I like put the cards on top to avoid the thing. Like that was the one game where I could have beat a hand disruption spell. But games 2 and 3, I was straight glass cannon mode where if you disrupted me at all, I was screwed. And instead, you're just only drawing Ransack the Labs. Like
I mean, I was drawing Ransack the Labs and 3 drops. And you just need to draw the discard spells against decks whose synergies are really, really powerful. And I failed to do so, and those synergies obliterated.
Yeah, your power is turn 1 Disruption, turn 2 Dark Commandant, turn 3 Skelemental. That's what you want every game against this deck. And, instead, turn 1 sack your Marsh Flats to put a land in a play tab, turn 2 Ransack, turn 3 Ransack, another tap land is not... That's probably the opposite of what you're going for.
I tried really hard to find a discard spell.
You did try really hard.
Very hard.
But, hey, we got good news. Our next match is your pet deck versus my pet deck. We got humans up against Bant Snow Control, which, Astrolabe is banned, but that was not enough to kill that deck. And rightfully so, because I think it's a fair deck that is decently boring to play against because it's just been good for so long that people just tend to not like the Teferi, Jace, Uro, Quaddle kind of stuff. But
people love that stuff.
I mean, I love playing it, but sometimes people don't like playing against it,
The only card I don't like playing against is Uro. Because it just it's impossible to interact with.
Yeah, that card is kind of just a plague on Magic right now. That's one card that's that's one card that is like sneaking under the ban radar. Like nobody is like, okay, let's ban this card. But really, that's the card that probably should be the most banned. I mean,
there is essentially no way to profitably interact with an Uro.
No,
it is impossible.
Yeah, you got to cling to dust it. You got to get it while it's in the yard, and then it still replaces itself, gains a life, and ramps you. Like that's the floor on that card, which is absurd. So I'm with you.
Outside of that, the deck is great.
That's fair. Okay, so we got our final match. That's what's going to be coming up next. Rob, if you got one question, we'll take it. If not, we'll just head to break.
Oh, we can go ahead to break.
Okay, perfect. Well, we are going to take a short 5-minute break, and then we will have our third and final match here on Versus Live. Don't go anywhere.